I know he likes to record in front of the Wailuku station. Does end up getting a warrant for his arrest because of this incident. He may not want to videotape himself in front of our station anymore. He might have to find somewhere else to go. You just might want to give him a heads up.
Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The short clip that I just showed you, it's only part of another news clip that I'm going to show you in a second. It was put up by Maui Alert Investigates about some police, like I say, harassing or corruption that's going on in Maui from the Maui Police Department. In case anybody need a heads up real quick, it's nothing new. I mean, it actually happened to Hawaii Real Estate when he was investigating some of the cars up by the freeway that were burnt. He was actually approached by Maui Police Department, and he was given a very hard time. I actually did a video on that a couple of months back. But before I continue to show you the rest of the clip, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass it around. If you want to help to support the channel, I'll leave a link in my description to my Cash App and PayPal, and also a link to my merch store, TrueOutlawPatriot.com, so you can get your Patriot shirts, wear them with pride, keep this movement going, and it'll definitely help out the channel a lot, and even subscribing to the channel helps out a lot. So with that being said, this actually was one of the police officers, I guess, giving a warning to these reporters. I believe it was the cameraman, if I'm correct, talking about that. I mean, if you see right here, it says he might have to find somewhere else to go. You might want to give him a heads up. Something about him being arrested or having a warrant out just for reporting the news. Now, there's no secret that there's been a lot of controversy in Hawaii with the media blackout since day one. It's been very topsy-turvy, you know, to say the least. And it's almost, I mean, it's not even almost to the point. It's at the point that all they do is make people look at them, you know, in a suspicious way. Okay? And you would think that the police chief, okay, knowing that he, I hope he knows that he lives in America and freedom of the press is a right, you know, that's in our Constitution, you would think that he'd be a little more open, or he would tell his goons, you know, how to, like, you know, properly act. But I guess that doesn't work. So I'm gonna show the next news clip from the reporter himself that that was being harassed by the cops. So here we go. Well, here's the news clip. But before I play it, I just I want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers who actually emailed this information to me, and I looked it up, and the videos are on YouTube. Okay, so without saying any names, I just want to say thank you. This person knows who it is. That's the first thing. The second thing there's something I want to announce, but let's get into this real quick, and I'll say what I have to say. Let's go.
Hey, aloha everyone. Paul Aker here with an important Maui Alert Investigates story. This involves the Maui Police Department and whether I should be standing in this very spot as I report to you about the Lahaina fire. Last month, a Maui police officer sent me a warning of sorts that suggested maybe I shouldn't. But was he trying to implicate me in a crime that I did not commit while sending that message? Think about that question as you watch this story. The body cam video shows a Maui police officer making a point they don't teach at the academy: how to keep reporters away from your police department.
He may not want to videotape himself in front of our station anymore. He might have to find somewhere else to go. You just might want to give him a heads up.
That's Officer Kevin Dunn making a statement to a German television reporter that sounds to us a lot like a threat. It came about 2 hours after a minor scratch in a parking lot turned into a criminal case. Once Dunn realized Maui Alert was in the car.
They showed me the picture on their phone. I'm like, wait a minute, I know this guy.
And how does Dunn know Maui Alert? But just like you do, the news. The fire now leads to... Dunn said he's seen our reports. Recent stories include Maui Alert reporting in front of the Wailuku police station. The topic? Basically what we're reporting is day 2 on our quest to get those public records. A lawsuit our news organization filed against the police department. In the suit, we allege the department unlawfully withheld public records about the Maui fire. The ordeal started at Laniopoko Park in December. The German reporter was driving a rental car. She's asked us not to publish her identity, so we're calling her Greta. As I sat in the passenger seat, Greta caught a bright ray of light in the backup camera and slightly, ever so slightly, scratched this SUV parked behind her. Cell phone video shows Greta exchanging information. She shares her insurance information and driver's license, even her phone number. With only a couple of days to finish her story and a pressing interview at the Hyatt, Greta tells the owner she can't wait around for police to eventually show up. When the police get to the park, the owner explains things just as they happen. Minor damage, Greta was driving.
Park right there. So it's not a big of damage, but you know.
Happen to take a picture of his information?
Oh, it's a she. It's a lady's name. It's a lady.
That story doesn't last too long. The man wasn't even there when it happened, but he changes the story. He says his wife, who was on the passenger side of the SUV, away from the impact, she somehow believed I was driving.
You sent him to my email. I was driving.
Did you see who was driving?
She was okay. So I was over there grabbing the stuff on the beach, yeah. Then she was over here on the other side, walked out. The lady came out of.
100% certain.
100% she came up from the right side.
Right, so.
Yes.
But who came out from the right side? And did the woman actually see anyone get out of the car? Dunn doesn't ask those questions. In fact, he doesn't ask the woman anything else. We can't be sure why the story changed. We do know the man seemed upset when I recorded this tense exchange with Greta. Still, Dunn doesn't yet know that I was in the car. And for the moment, it appears Dunn considers it a civil matter.
At that point, it becomes a civil matter between them and the rental company.
But a civil case suddenly becomes a criminal investigation after the owner tells Dunn that the case involves Maui Alert.
He's a local journalist. He does a Facebook thing.
As soon as Dunn sees a picture of Paul Aker, through the video blurred by the police department, it seems he begins texting away. Officers often text superiors in the field. If police can convince Greta to say that I was the driver, they can arrest me for leaving the scene without exchanging information.
Okay, now I'm going to cut it right here real quick. You know, at this point, in all honesty, it really doesn't surprise me if they wind up flipping the script on this to make it something that it's not. And that's only because, like I said, of all the media blackout, you know, there's been happening in Maui ever since August 8th of last year when this fire started, when this fire happened, I should say. And there's been a lot of people complaining about the Maui Police Department on their heavy-handed tactics. There's plenty of video out there. Like I said, Hawaii Real Estate put out a video the way they treated him. So, you know, it's not surprising that they would, you know, go and try to make this something bigger than what it is. Okay, now I'm not a, you know, I'm not a police officer, so I don't know exactly how they're gonna, you know, they will write down, you know, accidents. I do know that if you do have, you know, some kind of fender bender, if you exchange numbers and stuff like that, like you heard the officer say that it's a civil matter, and I think it's because they exchanged information. Okay, but to change that, knowing that he's being recorded, and just because he find out there's another person in the car that they don't like, i.e. news reporters, this is what makes a lot of people, like I said, you know, very suspicious about the Maui Police Department, especially with the police chief. Okay, they have been trying to be heavy-handed since day one with anybody, not just reporters, but anybody that wants to do any kind of reporting, has any kind of cameras on, wants to find out any kind of information. Their tactics are they're just goonish, you know. They're like a mob. I've had a lot of my subscribers send me comments and send me emails telling me of how can I say, the powers that be in Hawaii, how it's almost like they're a mafia family, you know. The way they do things, the way they harass people, the way they're heavy-handed, you know, with the citizens in Hawaii. And if you ask me, you know, when you had all these higher ups resign from their jobs when that police chief came in, okay, guys that were there 15, 20 years that just say, you know what, I'm not going to work for this guy or work under this guy. You know, that right there should have raised a red flag to the governor, to the mayor, especially the mayor. But it just seems like they're all in on it when it comes to like trying to do things their way and in fact breaking laws. Okay. But the way they spin it around, you know what's going to happen. And I'm not trying to knock police officers. Obviously, I'm taking the sides of the ones that resigned because of, you know, these tactics. And from what I hear, that it's even worse than that. It's just that, you know, there's got to be some accountability, okay? Especially ever since this fire happened. I mean, there's been lie after lie after lie, and it just seems like it's happening all over again, that they're showing their true colors. And I don't know exactly how in Hawaii, or in Maui for that matter, how people get these jobs. One could only guess, but it just seems that, you know what, it seems like it's time for an overhaul, in my opinion. But let's continue.
Within a minute, both officers jump in their cruiser to meet Greta. It's here that they detain Greta as Dunn tries to implicate me.
No, I don't have an English translation.
But before we get to that, you should know where I went. I parked myself inside the Hyatt, just feet away. Why? Here's how I explained it in a selfie video at the time. Long story short, I didn't want to wait around for the police because I've seen the police in action. I just did not want to get into any situation with the police. Meanwhile, Dunn very much wanted to get into a situation with me.
Based off of her statement, we just gotta talk to Paul. Where's Paul?
I don't know where's Paul right now.
Dunn then claims Greta was driving without a license.
We do not have an international driver's license. We cannot prove that this thing is valid. That's a criminal offense.
Dunn tells Greta if I just come talk to him, everything will be over.
He can
Please
come
don't do
here,
that
and
to
if he
me.
says he's the driver, we'll grab his information and we'll be out of here.
Sensing something was very wrong with this scenario, I told Greta the police should call my lawyer.
If you're saying you are driving, we have a criminal case, driving without a license.
Greta tells the police it sounds like to her they want her to change her story to implicate me.
So let me get it straight. You're trying to make this somebody else's fault.
Can you
that's
just
not-
call Paul
why
and
does-
meet us here?
Why does
So
this
we can
woman?
go?
Hold on, I'd like to go as well.
Call Paul so we can all leave.
Why does this woman want Paul to be the driver?
Finally, Greta calls me and says the police are basically holding her hostage.
So the police won't let me go until you come talk to them because the woman knows that you were the driver, and now they want to charge me with a criminal offense because they don't believe that my driver's license is true.
Okay, you know what? Not for nothing, but for the, you know, if she's obviously from another country and she has a driver's license, well, once again, I don't know exactly how these things work, but you know, people go, regardless of this situation, people go on vacation to different countries all the time and they rent vehicles. Okay, I've never heard of anybody having to get some kind of temporary driver's license if they go to another country and they want to rent a vehicle. Maybe it's true. I highly doubt it. But it just sounds like these cops are just so damn crooked that they'll just change laws and facts, you know, at a whim just to suit their situation. Okay? And if what this officer is saying is not true, I think it's disgusting, and in my opinion, he needs to be removed from the force. But something tells me that even if he is wrong, that's not going to happen. Now I understand why so many people, when they write to me, they leave me comments, they send me emails from Maui. Now I understand what they're talking about of how heavy-handed a lot of these cops are. Okay, and ever since the police chief came into power to take over the police department. But let's continue.
After she hangs up, Greta continues to insist that she was the driver. Dunn has a couple of conversations with the sergeant, and then he threatens jail.
The option my sergeant gave me said, for one, we can either arrest you for driving without a license and arrest you for hindering prosecution for not giving us the whereabouts of where he is. Okay? Or if he comes here, he doesn't even have to say anything. All we need is his insurance and driver's license, and we're done.
Yeah, but he was not driving. I was driving.
Even with the threat of arrest, Greta stands by her truthful statement. Finally, another call to the sergeant, and Dunn drops the arrest threat. Instead, they issue Greta a ticket for driving on a foreign license that is not translated, and Dunn issues Maui Alert.
We see him on
That
YouTube.
heads up.
I know he likes to record in front of the Wailuku station. Does end up getting a warrant for his arrest because of this incident. He may not want to videotape himself in front of our station anymore. He might have to find somewhere else to go. You just might want to give him a heads up.
Maui Alert
You know, not for nothing, like I said before, you know, I wonder if this guy understands that regardless if he's on an island, that's in the United States. And the First Amendment gives reporters the right, okay, to report on their story. Now, I do understand that there are some areas that will be closed off when they, you know, trying to get to a story. But last I checked, there is nothing wrong with reporters in Hawaii, in Maui, reporting in front of police stations. That nothing has been cordoned off, okay? But it just seems like this whole media blackout, the way, you know, the intimidation, you know, it's true. And like I said before, it's disgusting for them to even do this to people, you know? But not that I wish anybody bad, but, you know, if something was to happen to one of them, they're going to want reporters out there, you know, to put the word out to find help for them. So it's like, why can't you just let these reporters, you know, do their job? If their reporting is wrong, then you fact check them, okay? But it just seems like they don't want any kind of media going around, anything on social media. I mean, I've heard and seen so many videos of the officials in Maui putting people down that put out videos on TikTok, on YouTube, whatever the case is pertaining to the fire and all that, and just belittling people, making it seem as if, you know what, you don't have all the facts, and whatever you put out is lies, is disinformation or misinformation or whatever the hell the case is. I mean, CNN just put an article out, I believe it was yesterday or today, trying to blame, I think it was health fitness instructors that have thousands of viewers, like on Instagram, for spreading disinformation about the Maui fires. And it's like, all of a sudden, months later, now you're going to put out an article like that? Why is it? Because people are getting too close to the truth and you're still trying to keep everything hush-hush? You know, because that's all it seems like. From day one, everything's been just keep everything hush-hush, push the news reporters away. There's a media blackout. You can't even fly drones. You can't do nothing. You can't stop on the side of the road and look at cars that are burned and question it. Just keep it moving as if nothing happened. And then on top of that, to take a small little incident like this, you know, to know who the reporter is, and I'll make a statement like that, like, oh, he might not want to be reporting or videotaping in front of the police department. Why? Where's the law against that? Oh, wait, there is no law against that. But let's continue.
wanted to know why Dunn did not do more. Why didn't he question the woman thoroughly? Why didn't he ask the couple why they got Greta's information but not mine if they thought I was the driver? Why was there no formal statement from the woman? And why did Dunn make that statement about our reporting in front of the police department? Nobody, including the officer that said this,
He can run and hide.
would answer questions.
I think that is hugely concerning.
He can run and hide. You know, you make it seem like this guy's a criminal. The guy has nowhere off the island. Okay? And to just, you know, keep saying, you know, keep making comments like this is like, are you looking for trouble? You know, it was a regular scratch on a car, a regular fender bender. Nobody got hurt. I mean, it wasn't like it was a hit and run. It wasn't like somebody ended up in the hospital. None of that. And this goon of a cop is trying to make something out of nothing. But let's continue.
A National Police watchdog had more to say. Lauren Bonds with the National Police Accountability Project calls Dunn's conduct very concerning.
This is a pretty extreme example of retaliation against journalists.
Bond says the video shows likely violations of both reporters' constitutional rights, but more importantly, the right of the public here on Maui, the right to learn about their government.
An attack on an individual journalist is interfering with the public's rights and to receive information. And it's also, potentially silencing other journalists, even if they aren't the specific target. It's sending a message to them that the same thing could happen. So it's very concerning, and it's a bigger problem than just kind of one individual being bullied and harassed by the police.
As far as Greta, the prosecutor dropped that citation right away within a couple of days of the police officer issuing it. So that went away, nothing on her record. She was able to get back to Germany and work on her story. Now, here's what Maui Alert needs from you. We need your help. As you can tell, it takes a lot of courage and a lot of time, effort, and resources to battle for the truth. As you saw, we're suing the county. We're doing all kinds of other things to help get you the information. We could use your help here a little bit. If you can, please think about sending a donation. Just a few bucks, whatever you have, that would help. If you don't, no worries. We're going to leave a link for the donations in the comments there. And if you'd rather just support the cause, the Truth for Lahaina cause, you can buy a t-shirt. The Truth for Lahaina t-shirt will help support the campaign, show people that you want the truth for Lahaina, and we'll make a few bucks on each t-shirt that we sell. But either way, keep watching. We'll keep doing our best to get you the truth, and we're not leaving. We'll keep reporting right here, folks, right here, until we meet again. Paul Aker, Maui Alert Investigates.
Well, there you go, folks. I mean, there it is. I'll leave a link to this video from his channel, and then you guys, if you want to help them, click on the links that he, click on that video into their description, their links, and help them out, the best way you can. I think it's ridiculous for the way these things are still going. And I've been saying for the longest, I haven't put out a video on Maui in a couple of weeks, but I've been saying it for the longest that the people in Maui, they're not out of all this chaos by a long shot. Okay, it's not something that's just going to fade away as much as the powers that be want it to. So people need to keep pushing out the information. And like I said, I thank my subscriber that sent this to me. And it's something that a lot of people, if you notice, it's almost as if, and I called it months ago, that it's going to get to the point that the coverage on Maui is going to get less and less. And now the narrative is flipping, because now, like I said, CNN put out an article, where they're trying to make anybody that wants to question everything that happened in Maui with the fire just, conspiracy theorists, misinformation, disinformation. And it's like all of a sudden you want to come out and now you want to start bashing people. But that's what the mainstream media does. Okay? That's what they do. I wonder if the tables were flipped. If, let's just say, it was CNN, they got into into that little fender bender, how far would that have gone? Okay? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe I've seen any CNN reporter in Maui since this happened. And if I'm wrong, let me know, in the comments, leave a link so I can check it out. But I really haven't seen any. Whether MSNBC, CNN, NBC, ABC, I mean, all you have is the locals trying to put out as much information as they can. So, this is something, like I said, they're not out of it. They're not. And it just seems like, it's probably going to get a little worse. Okay, especially after this. Now, he put this out, I believe, 4 or 5 days ago. So, time will only tell how, if they're going to keep being heavy-handed with him or with any reporters for that matter. So that's that for this story. I got two more quick things to show you. One of them has to do with the missing children of Maui. Here we go. Okay, so this was sent to me by someone, and it shows the West Maui schools that were basically the enrollment sheet as of August 8th, 2023. It says how many staff members, okay, the facilities that were damaged and the status. And in one school there was 624 kids enrolled, in another school 707, and another school 658, and the Lahaina Luna High 1012. That was a total of 3,001 students. Okay, and 327 staff. Now you can read all this. Okay, pause the video, read it. Okay. Now people may say, okay, you know, that's how many kids were enrolled. So you know, what's the point? The point is this. As you can see here in the same email, it says total re-enrolled was 782, distance learning 907, private enrollment 330. Total children registered and attending school 2019. Before the fire, total registered 3,001. According to the Department of Education, 982 children are missing from original registration. Now, this is something that I brought up months ago, that if anybody wanted to find out the real count of children missing, go do your research through the Department of Education. If anybody knows, the Department of Education are probably the best, whether in Hawaii, whether in California, whether in New York, that when they put kids on a roll, you best believe they keep the best records. Okay? Where even the Department of Education in Maui, when it was questioned, how can so many children not be registered or, like, you know, disappear from the registry, even they admitted, okay, that maybe it's because parents moved off the island, so they haven't called in to say, listen, we moved to another state, we moved away, whatever. But they also said it's unlikely for it to be so many. Okay? That is by the Department of Education. They will admit that people have moved, could have moved away, and they just didn't have, they haven't made the arrangements yet to call up and get the school records and have them shipped over to another school. But for it to be that many, they said, is totally unlikely. Totally. For that many children to be missing, okay, but not one parent, never mind two parents, not even one parent to each of those children, especially knowing what has happened, all the chaos on Maui, and they're trying to make a roll call to find out who's alive, who's missing, whatever the case is, for them not to call and say, listen, get my child's name off, we're fine, we're safe, everything's good, we made it off, or we're staying with family. It's unlikely for that many children to be missing, and nobody, okay, to call in and vouch for those children. So this is something to think about, people. Okay, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Okay? Because in case anybody's forgotten, nobody has really forgotten about all the missing children and all the missing adults. Okay? That number that is stopped at 100 or 89 or whatever the case is, in my opinion, that is not the exact number. Especially when the Department of Education says 982 children are missing from the original registration. That's a lot of kids to be missing. That is a lot of families to move off the island and nobody calling back. Since when does anybody move out? I don't care if you stay in state, move to a different neighborhood, move out of state. Everybody knows when you have kids, the Department of Education, the Board of Education are on everyone's ass to make sure that within a certain amount of time, your child is re-registered in another school. That is a fact. So if anybody knows how to hold attendance, if anybody knows how to track down a child, okay, which I still think the DOE and the BOE are nefarious in itself, but they keep some pretty good damn records to find out where the hell your children are. That is a fact. Okay? Now, if it has anything to do with records were being burnt because of the fire, granted. But again, we are talking months later. Word is going out. You mean to tell me if all these children are missing, not one parent to these children is calling up to put everybody's mind at ease, to show proof that the child is okay? If this is true, people, this is a pretty scary thought that nearly 1,000 children are still missing, and that is the number, more or less, months ago that they said there was at least that many children missing. Now, if that many children are missing, it opens up many questions. Many, many questions. Where are the parents? If the parents and the children are missing, then what exactly is the real death count? Think about that one question, and then think about all the other questions on top of that. Okay? So that's what I got to show you. The next and final thing is I want to say this. I thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers, okay? I've lost some, I've gained a ton. It's great. A lot of great comments. It's one thing I've been noticing. A lot of my videos have been getting low views. And I've been noticing a pattern where a lot of the impressions to my videos are not being pushed out. Okay, getting very low impressions, very low views, but I'm getting a lot more, how can I say, some really rude ass people leaving me comments. Okay? Now listen, I really don't care what your opinion is. But if you're going to come on my channel and be a damn troll, okay, you can go kick fucking rocks. Okay, that's as plain as I'm going to put it. You don't like my content? That's fine. I don't care. But you don't have to leave comments insulting me or anybody else because you have nothing better else to do with your life. Alright? Now, if you think you're going to like get under my skin to make me want to like, you know, kill the channel, whatever the case is, no. I'm going to shout you out. But I will say this. The last person that left a comment, I'm not going to shout out their name. Okay? Anybody else wants to leave a rude comment, that's fine. But when you go way overboard with things you got to say, you best believe I'm going to shout your ass out on my next video. Believe me, I'm going to shout you out on the next video. And if you're looking for anybody to go on your channel over that, no, it's not going to be a nice shout out. Trust me, it's not. Okay? So once again, to all my subscribers, thank you so much. I love you guys. Please help support the channel. Watch the videos. Give it a thumbs up. Pass it around. You know? Support the channel any which way you want. Okay? Everything is greatly appreciated. And whatever information you want to send me, through a comment, through an email, if I can do content on it, I will. Alright? To everybody else that just wants to be a damn troll, like I said, go kick rocks. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. Give it a thumbs up and pass it around. If you want to help support the channel again, I'll leave a link in my description to my Cash App and PayPal and to my merch store. Buy a t-shirt. That will help greatly. The new designs are coming out hopefully soon. Still working on it. I know I've been saying it for a minute now, but these things ain't easy, you know. But anyway, with all that being said, remember, people, stay vigilant. Keep praying for each other. Keep praying for the missing children and people in Lahaina and those that are going through a lot, and the reporters that are trying to do a good job. Peace.